Who gave this to you?
Somebody, a combatant. And this was the letter given to me by President Obama.
We saw that image of him the final morning that he was here, putting the letter on the desk.
Which was, I won't show it to you, read it to you, but just a beautiful letter.
Is there a line you can share that struck you most?
There were numerous lines, so well written, so thoughtful, and in the drawer, put in the drawer, which is a custom, but I doubt too many of them were written in this manner. He really, in fact, I called him and thanked him for the thought that was put into that letter.
I have to say, I have looked at a lot of those presidential letters that they have left for the next president.
Right.
That one looks a lot longer than the ones that I've seen.
It was long, it was complex, it was thoughtful, and it took time to do it, and I appreciated it. And I called him and thanked him.
Was there something he said in that letter that surprised you?
Well, I think nothing that surprised me, but it was stated beautifully, but that I'm representing a lot of people. And I'm carrying on a very important tradition. And just do a great job. He wants me to do a great job. He said something that was very interesting to me. He said, if I thought your health care plan was going to be better than his plan, Obamacare, I would support it, and I believe he would. I believe he would.
What was that car ride like to the Capitol when you got into the car with the president who was about to leave and you were about to...
The amazing thing to me, and he may say differently, is that I think, have sort of a great relationship. And yet it was a vicious campaign, and vicious things were said by him and by me about each other. I mean, he said that, I would never represent the Republican Party. Then I won. Then I will never win. And I said vicious things about him. It was a very, you talk about Jefferson and Adams. I mean, this was rough. And Hillary had a great asset on her side. Him and Michelle, who's a phenomenal person. But Hillary had these two people that were really campaigning big league. In fact, I was going out and really complaining about it. I was saying, not really fair. But to have that kind of vitriol, to have that kind of stuff going on, and then we're riding in a car together up Pennsylvania Avenue, and I'm saying to myself, I actually said to him, this is a little weird, isn't it, huh? But we didn't discuss the negative, we only discussed the future and the positive, and we really get along well. Now again, he may say differently, but I don't think he would. We really got along well.
Mr. President, you bring up Hillary Clinton. You had her stand up at Statuary Hall.
Yeah.
And said some very kind things about her.
She fought hard. She fought hard.
Do you think America is done hearing about investigations into Hillary Clinton?
I just don't know. I mean, I hope so. And from my standpoint, we want to move on to the future. So I hope so. I don't know what the status of that is. I know it's a lot of very serious stuff, but I certainly hope so.
We have seen the amount of action at this desk already this week.
Right.
The Dow hit 20,000 today.
Right. I'm very proud of that. Very proud of that. The business community and the labor community. You saw that with the labor leaders that came out. One of them said it was the single greatest meeting I've ever had with anybody. It's the highlight of my life. And the Dow, on top of it, just hit 20,000. First time in history. I'm very proud of that. Now, we have to go up, up, up. We don't want it to stay there.
That's the challenge, Mr. President.
That's going to be the challenge, but it's gone up a lot since I won. Don't forget, when I won, people thought, oh, maybe it will go down. But the business world doesn't think that. The business world knows me. They don't think that. And it was a steady climb, and now we just hit a record and a number that's never been hit before. So I was very honored by that.
The president then takes us through the West Wing to show us the photos they already have on the walls.
And these are some of the pictures that were taken. This is the swearing in and the first dance with Melania. Here's a picture of the event. Here's a picture of the crowd. Now, the audience was the biggest ever, but this crowd was massive. Look how far back it goes. This crowd was massive. And I would actually take that camera and take your time if you want to know the truth.
I do want to ask you, Mr. President, about this photo right here. I saw this moment on Inauguration Day. I saw you put your hand on President Obama's back there.
Right.
As he boarded executive one, no longer Marine one. What did you say to him? I saw you smiling.
There is a warmth. Look, if you see that picture, there is a warmth there. But that was an incredibly beautiful moment. And I've seen it over the years. I've seen the good and the bad. But the scene of that great machine turning on and lifting off, it was really something special.
He points to an image of his daughter, Ivanka, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, now a senior advisor to the president.
Is there any chance Ivanka might have an office right here in the White House?
Well, right now she is just getting settled, moved to Washington. Her husband, Jared, very, very smart, good guy.
We know he'll have a role. He has an office.
He does, and he has an office. We'll have to see what happens. She is a special person. She's smart, and she's got every quality you can possibly have. I don't rule out anything. No, there's certainly a possibility. And Jared has been here, and he's doing a great job.
And just before we leave, the president tells us he wants to show us just one more image.
One thing this shows is how far over they go here. Look how far this is. This goes all the way down here, all the way down. Nobody sees that. You don't see that in the pictures. But when you look at this tremendous sea of love, I call it a sea of love, it's really something special that all these people traveled here from all parts of the country, maybe the world, but all parts of the country. Hard for them to get here. Many of these people were the forgotten men and women, many of them. And they loved what I had to say. But more importantly, they're going to love the result.
Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
David.
Thank you.